after riding in 38-degree heat. That's 100 Fahrenheit for you American folk. Arrives.
Oh my gear.
How good's this?
Brutal, about 30 degrees, lots of uphill.
What a day. Yay you. And how many days is it till we go? Till we hit the snow?
54.
54 till our first snow day.
Sorry about all the wind noise in the previous clip. Anyway, so you'll see here 29th of December, so the last couple of working days before New Year. So I was lucky Andrew had time off work, so we drove to Parramatta Park and left the car there so we could do a few laps around the park and leave the bag and all that stuff for work in the car, which was really handy. So there's a few things, obviously we cut out a few laps, but there was a few funny things in this video, particularly on fast forward. So you see us kind of cruising along, and then there was all the convoy of portaloos and things, and then Andrew had to dodge around that woman. It was just classic. Yeah, so they're setting up for New Year's Eve fireworks and things like that. So yeah, it was a fun day, fun morning before work. Parramatta Park itself is about 3.5 kilometres per lap, so the section you see me riding here is about a quarter of the park. So it's the section that I usually ride to get to work when I commute, and it's a bit like snowboarding videos. It's not that easy to tell uphill from downhill, but there's actually a few undulations, shall we say, along this ride. And then we're coming up to the bridge where you cross over, and Andrew gives us a nice little shot each way of river there. It's on fast forward, so you kind of missed it. And on the left is a sporting stadium for the Eels. So now we're headed for Parramatta CBD, and the car park there is for the swimming pool. And under the bridge, I think that's O'Connell Street. And there's a great historic building on the left. It's a sandstone. I think it was a school or a convent or something. You can tell I'm good with history. And past the Riverside Theatre and through Lennox Bridge. They've just recently cut those square potholes in there. And I like this section of the river. They've got the Aboriginal style paintings. There's a bit of interest. There's a lot of festivals and things. There was a Thai Water Festival recently. They have Indian things. All kinds of different nationalities have events along the riverside there on weekends. And you'll see more about those stairs in the coming weeks. And here we are at the Rivercat stop. And then Andrew's heading back to the car because he had the day off work. A lucky thing. But it was nice of him to escort me. And so here we are doing some high intensity interval training. So some tricep dips to start with. And over to the slam balls. Surprisingly tiring. And over the head slam balls. And squats, of course. Can't possibly do high intensity interval without squats. And then the battle ropes. And some snowboarding exercises, so front and side jumps. A little bit of stretch there. And then we actually do another couple sets of all of that. So with this snowboarding stuff, we were mostly kidding around, but there's actually a little bit of exercise science to this. So one aspect is if you're going to do squats or some kind of exercises, you may as well do it in a way that's relative or relevant to your sport. So having your feet the right width apart, things like that. And the idea of being able to jump or at least push down and get some lift is actually quite a useful skill in snowboarding. And of course practicing getting up after you've fallen over, surprisingly hard on the flat, let me tell you. But you know, even the idea of rolling over, trust me, if you're going to go to the snow for the first time, definitely practice this in your yard when, not on the snow. New Balance, hashtag sponsor me. We're having a lot of trouble with the audio for a lot of these sections. So we've included 2 clips here of us, well, me riding. So hopefully you can see the difference of the racer foot bike rather than my commuting one. It's rolls a lot better, a lot faster. So anyway, we cut out the 10 kilometers worth of laps for you. But yeah, foot signal there and cut into the straight. So for the rest of the training session, we did some sprints and drills and things like that. So this section through the park's really pretty. We're coming up to the dairy. So the whole park used to be Government House. So I was talking to camera here, but the sound didn't really come out. So the key thing is that we got up to about 22 on an uphill sprint. 10 kilometre ride time was 31:27, so not bad for a reasonably cruisy ride. That gives us an average of about 18-19 kilometres an hour, and it was 27 degrees but really humid that day. So the 18 or 19 kilometres an hour average, what we're aiming at for race pace is about 20 kilometres an hour. So that gives us 30 minutes to do 10 kilometres. So at the moment, that's kind of our 4-minute mile, is that it's something we're really aiming to get under. So part of the reason for the foot bike training like this, of doing the 10 kilometres without much cars and traffic and dogs and people and whatever, but also, you know, practicing the foot changes and things as drills. So one of the drills here, it's kind of hard to see in the video, but what I'm doing is a kick and then change feet, a single kick, change feet. So really focusing on getting the foot changes a lot smoother and getting the change and the knee up nice and high, ready for your next kick. And then a few laps of some stairs and some stretching, of course, as a bit of a cool down. So coming up, there's a map from Strava of our ride around Parramatta Park, including the straight in the middle where we do our sprints. And that was our training ride for New Year's Day. So one of the tips for someone starting a new diet or something like that is you need to be pretty organised. So after our ride, we like to try and do a decent breakfast, particularly on the weekend. So what we've got on the stove here is zucchini, mushrooms and tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is put that aside, take the extra liquid, put it aside for a slow cooker. So while that's been cooking, I've cut up carrots and things for the slow cooker thing. I've got some ham out of the freezer left over from Christmas. And to go with that, I'm going to cook up some organic eggs and supplement with this, I don't know if you can see it, pure egg white. So it's good to use the egg white and some yolks, so you kind of not getting too much cholesterol. Organic or grass-fed beef as well. So that's a bit of a preview for you on what we tend to eat, particularly as a weekend special meal. And yeah, I'll go get back to cooking. So here's the end result: ham and cheese eggs with lots of vegetables. Yum!